Residents in areas like Nungwa, Tema Community 25 and Tudu are dealing with shortage of water. And, you know, water is so important. We use it for cooking, bathing, and running businesses. And a lot of people have been complaining about this issue. Now, let's get into this report with Fauzu Masawudu and check it out. When we come back, we'll be talking about it and asking the right questions and hoping for the right answers. We'll be right back.
The effects of recent water shortages in parts of Accra have been dire. In communities like Leisure Street in Nungwa, residents, particularly food vendors, say they have had to rely on private water vendors at expensive rates. Patient Dubo is one of them.
1 month, 2 months. Papa. There's a my
More mutu aduane titiri ni se aduane nso de aduane no ade yana ni nsu nenam nti ya moye ne sen
yes I chin e ko pe bi o bebi na e de aba na e de abaye aduane no
sana mutu nsu no be sen
e ko mutimi ton gallon be 5 cedi 5 cedi na e de ebudi ba ko bu enso be 30 Ghana no de abaye aduane da kura de cha no wasa ko biom bi na ko be 50 Ghana o be sa fa dropping o be dropping be ju be 50 Ghana. Across
the area, water storage containers like gallons and drums have become a common sight, with residents storing water anytime it's available.
So I buy it me fill good gallons in your tank the mood see one tear na emba na free akwa bonte akopebi. Person penifo no omonhwe na nsuo no ombehwe ombeye maye. E na yeso ye wo online so te ama yeso ne ntimi mba papa.
While some residents in the community grapple with acute water shortages, others within the same vicinity have a story of the opposite.
The Ghana Water Limited attributes the erratic supply to an ongoing rationing program, citing the inability of its treatment plants to meet the demands of Accra's growing population.
Here in Accra, we ration water. We ration water because the demand for water far outstrips the supply of the commodity. In fact, if we don't ration water, what's going to happen is that only some few people will get water all the time. Others will not get at all.
In Accra's central neighborhoods like Tudu, the situation is equally concerning. Retailers like Auntie Becky say the taps flow only once a month.
No, eba 1 month eba nye batomo shikome yemi. Ni wono feast ni ke ba be ke ba shikome yemi no we ba batomo oba politan ka agbo oba na le tomo la enyo bo ba use weko wo ba nyo tomo la ikome no shi o shi ekome no use kenyo gbo nwe abana ba belu ode.
The ripple effect is also being felt by students living in hostels within the affected zones.
We are trying to cope, but we are managing, but it's really hard because sometimes I have to go to my sister's place around Flagstaff. She lives there, so sometimes I go to wash at her place.
A follow-up visit a few days showed marginal improvements. While some areas continue to experience acute shortages, others have seen partial restoration, though water flow remains inconsistent. In Peaceby, located in Tema Community 5, residents are battling the same issue.
For about 3 months now, we don't have water at all. It's not flowing at all for 3 months now.
What's the problem, do you know?
Oh, no, I don't know. But I think some time ago, my husband called and then asked. And they say they have some problems, so they are solving it. But up to now, we still don't have.
Even domestic chores like washing utensils have become a challenge.
The last time we bought is 1,001, the big truck. Yeah.
How long does it last?
Roughly about 3 weeks.
Okay. So let's say 1,001. If you are buying 1,001 for every 3 weeks, that's a lot.
Yes, it's a lot.
Her neighbor, Hope Segbefia, expressed concerns about the safety of water from the tanker vendors.
Water have not been flowing, but we have been buying water by tankers. And we don't know where the tanker people have been getting the water before we have been buying from them. So it's a problem. And no information too is coming out
We also spoke to a local water vendor who confirmed the business has been hit hard by the crisis. Meanwhile, the Ghana Water Limited has advised residents in affected areas to store water whenever possible.
Because we don't supply water to every community every day, but ration water, meaning there are days you get water, but there are days that the water will not flow. We need to inform or remind our customers especially that everybody must have storage. There are days the water will flow from Ghana Water. There are days the Ghana Water will turn the valve and direct the water to some other community. You will not get water. But if you have enough storage, as long as your water is flowing, you will store water.
Given the necessity of water to our human existence, it is a no-brainer that the absence of it makes life unbearable. And for residents here affected by acute water shortages, a free flow of it is not much to ask for. Reporting for Channel One News, Fauzuma Saudu.
All right, there you have it, a report from Fauzuma Saudu about the water situation in some parts of Greater Accra region. Guys, what are your thoughts about this?
This is getting worse by the day because what I know is Wager wasn't having water. Some part of Sotium they didn't have it. It came down to Santa Maria. A very lovely lady here says that she's not gotten water for a very long time.
That's my area.
Just that she paid 4 Ghana cedis for 4 drops. Then other areas like Teshi, they've been complaining. Amasama. Well, we will give you the chance as the viewer to also speak to us and tell us where you are having the challenge. Meanwhile, you can still text us 0204 447033 and bring us where you are having the challenge in your area. But Anna, do you have water in your area?
I do, but it's erratic.
So it's off and on.
So do you know the days it comes?
It doesn't follow a schedule. Okay, so you're unable to plan, and that's my challenge. If there was a schedule, then you're able to plan. So I know that, okay, on this day at this time, there will be water. So I'll know how to open or lock my valves so I can store water in my tank. You get it? But
we have on the line the Regional Communications Manager, Accra East Region, Ghana Water Limited, Nana Yaberima Bani. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Per your jurisdiction, where do you cover? Which areas do you cover?
Right. I am in charge of Accra.
Please, we are finding it difficult to hear you. So if you can reposition yourself and maybe you can speak a little louder for us, we'll be grateful. So we can go on. Which areas do you cover?
Okay. So as I was saying, I'm responsible for communication in Accra East Region. Accra East Region covers places like Dabraka, Accra Central, Rainway at Teshi, of course, Teshi Nungwa, Adenta, Madina, Cantonment, Laboni, La, Dodowa, Oyibi, Amamfro, Ringway Estate. So all these areas are communities that are under the Accra East Region of Ghana Water Limited.
And with the areas...
It's not exhaustive. I will not be able to mention all the names, but I'll give you a mental picture of the areas that fall under Accra East Region.
And with the areas you've mentioned, per what you know, which of these areas have water and which ones do not?
Well, as far as we know, we supply water to all these areas. So unless somebody or a resident living in a particular community comes to inform us that their water is not flowing, so we will be able to go to those communities and then find out why their water is not flowing. I remember about 3 weeks ago or 2, one of your reporters by name Joseph was in my office with a complaint from a resident of Tudu behind the Accra Technical University that her water has not been flowing. So I informed the reporter, in fact I granted an interview to your station and mentioned that we are not aware that that area has a water problem because we serve Accra Technical University. So we expect that on the days that we are serving the university, people who live around the area should also be able to get water. So we will go there and verify, find out why that customer is not getting water. Following through with our promise, we went there and then we realized that the lady's meter had been blocked with sediment. Over time, it happens that your meter may be blocked. So after they had removed whatever had blocked the meter, the water started flowing. And in fact, before you heard the story 3 days ago in the evening, I personally called that customer and she confirmed to me that their water started flowing after our team had been there. So we would want to urge our customers or consumers generally that if their water is not flowing, they should do well to approach us, come to our office. There is always, an office nearby. All these areas we have offices, so you can go and make your complaint. And after you have made a complaint, we will also follow up and see how we can help you to get water. We understand the importance of water. It is said water is life. And it is not just a cliche, it's not just a mere thing. It means without water, life is impossible. So we expect that if residents or consumers are not getting water, they will kindly approach us and we will find out how we can assist them to get water.
Nana, we appreciate your efforts at helping restore supply to some of these areas. But now you've placed a call to consumers to report to you. I am a bit concerned with this call because from where I sit, it looks like you're placing the responsibility of monitoring on the consumer. Do you have your own mechanism to detect whether there is a problem in certain areas? Say you have scheduled supply to this particular area. If there is a challenge and that supply doesn't go through, what mechanisms do you have internally to be able to detect same?
Okay. Well, in our office, we are unable to determine that water is not flow. But normally when we push water to communities, we try and go there to find out whether the water is flowing. So this is what we do. But there are times also that customers themselves will call us and tell us this is what is happening, this is what is happening. I get calls, since I came here, I get calls from Airport Hills and places, and then they tell me, I'll just tell the distribution manager or the team, and they'll go there. If there's a challenge, they try to find out how the challenge can be resolved, and subsequently they begin to get water. In fact, it's been working since I came here in February. So this is what we have been doing, sir.
All right, so it seems like this water problem is not just in Accra or maybe around where you actually control, but it's almost everywhere in Ghana. Do you have an idea what the root cause of the current water shortage in these affected areas are?
Thank you very much. I must mention that water supply, especially in the dry season, like the period in which we are now, is always a challenge. When you get into the dry season, it's always a challenge. Why is that so? Because during the dry season, it does not rain, so we don't have fresh inflows of water into the river base, into our dam. So the levels begin to go down and down and down and down and down. Like Western region where I just, returned from. The river goes down by the day. it gets to a point that if you are not even careful, you may not even get water to drink.
Right.
So we are not able to get enough volume to be able to abstract and treat. So this is why, at the moment, I hear in Tamale there's a huge issue there, because the river, the source water is virtually not there. So this is a challenge. And if the water is not there, it means you are not able to get what you need to extract and then treat, transmit, and distribute. So this is the problem. But whenever we get into rainy season, these complaints almost fizzle out, because the source river, the volume of water goes up. So we are able to abstract as much as we want. Then also, apart from the unavailability of the raw water for abstraction, there is also the challenge of capacity. All over the country, the places that we serve as a company, our capacity is such that it is unable to meet the demand. And once you are not able to meet the demand, definitely some places will suffer. If it was the case that as and when we realize there is a problem with capacity, we can mobilize resources quickly and expand, there will not be any problem. But here's the case when it's a bit difficult to be able to mobilize resources and then expand and then increase access. In Western region, for example, it is now, over the year, there has been a big problem. It's now that the government has, sourced for a loan for us to be able to build a new treatment plant, which is going to produce over 20 million gallons of water, for the community, for the metropolis. So once that is done, I'm sure this problem will be a thing of the past. So generally, the problem has to do with capacity. We don't have enough capacity to meet the demand. So we realize that the demand for the water far outstrips the supply of the service. So that is a major problem.
Right. So do you have any, say, long-term plans that will help prevent these water shortage issues?
Okay, I think the new minister, our sector minister, has said to us that the government actually prioritizes the supply of water, because water is used for everything, everywhere, everything. In fact, there's nothing you do in this world that you don't need water. Everything you do, you need water. So the government puts higher priority on the provision of water. So they will do what they can to enable us. Where we need to expand capacity, we will do so. Wherever needs to be done in order for us to be able to meet demand, I'm sure the government is committed to help us. And once that is done, as for us, in fact, Ghana Water Company, it is said, has the best engineers, in terms of water supply industry. So once it is done, we will also be able to operate these plants and then meet the demand of our consumers.
You made mention of some water lines blocking, specifically in Tudu, when our reporter came there to have a conversation with you. Is that to say that some human activities or things we are doing ourselves also contribute to this?
Well, for that one, I would say no, a big no. The blockade I'm talking about, our pipes, some of them are metal, some of them are all kinds of materials that are used. And over time, the internal lining, some of them, there are linings within the pipe. So over time, the internal lining of the pipes begin to peel off. And as they peel off, where do they go? They run along with the water that we supply. So you find out that these peelings will block your meter or block your service line, so water will not be able to pass through unless it is removed. There's what you call encrustation. So over time, these things sometimes they reduce the size of the water, of the pipeline, because of these things that have accumulated within the pipeline. So that is the reason why sometimes you find some people's meter being blocked. But I will not put it to human activity. No, I will not put it to that.
All right, Nana, thank you. Let's just look at within your area. I don't know if Galamsey is a factor whether we can attribute or relate to the challenges we are witnessing.
No. I will not. I will say very big no, because here in Accra, we get our sources from. We have 3 sources. We have Pond.
Okay.
Yes, and Volta River. So far, have not seen Galamsey, on the Volta River. Not yet. I've not heard about Galamsey on the Volta River. Then we have the Densu River, which has been dammed at Ouija.
Right.
But Ouija has raw water availability every the year round, all the year round, all the time we have water in that dam.
Right.
And then also we have what you call the desalination plant at Teshi.
Teshi, yes.
The desalination plant. The sea never dries with rain. You understand? So the seawater is always available. As long as our equipment is in top shape, we can continue to produce. So for Accra, I will not say, unless somebody can prove me wrong, I will not say there is illegal mining that is disturbing us and not helping us to be able to produce water. No, I would say no, sir.
Very well. The rains are coming. I mean, we've started experiencing rains in parts of the capital already. Let's start off with the Ouija Dam. When are we expecting a spillage, and what advice would you have for residents within the area?
This is something that is quite concerning. It's become a ritual that every year Ghana Water Limited will spill the excess water and people's homes will flood. And after the flood waters have receded, we carry on with business as usual. I think this week, in fact, being in the Accra East region, I am not directly in charge of Ouija, the spillage and all of that. It is head of my boss, Stanley Martin, but I heard that we have started what you call the sensitization, the awareness creation, so that people will know we are just about to spill. So they will take precautionary measures to avoid any unfortunate incident. So that sensitization has started with the assembly and with NADMU and all of that. So we have started. But I will not be able to tell when the spilling will start because, as I said, I'm not directly responsible for that activity, sir.
Very well. But again, with the rains coming in and, of course, the challenges that you have already helped us to establish regarding the dry season, what assurances can you give people in affected communities that with the onset of the rains, there will be at least some level of stability regarding water supply?
Yeah. In fact, this is something that I have tested, I have witnessed over the years, that whenever we get the rainy season, these problems, if they don't, as I said, settle out completely, they are minimized. All these problems are minimized. It is true. I'm telling the truth. So once the rain sets in, definitely the raw water will be available. And the raw water is what we abstract. That's a major raw material that we abstract. So once we get enough water, I mean, you will see that the supply has significantly improved. So I can assure our customers all over where the problem is because of lack of raw water availability. So once we get into the rainy season and the levels rise, the levels go up, we will be able to abstract enough water for treatment. Maybe residents of Secretary Takrade are listening to me. They know. In fact, there was one radio station, the reporter had always the presenter had already been talking about Ghana Water, not serving water. Just before I came, one day he called me to his station and was commending Ghana Water highly. Why? Because the water is always on. It's always on. So, I told you it is because of lack of raw water. So once the raw water is available, the equipment, everything is in top shape, and we will be able to produce. So this is something I'm sure the residents in those communities that are affected also know, like Cape Coast, Sikanita, Elmina, and surrounding communities. Whenever we are in the rainy season, we don't experience this problem. So please rest assured that with the coming of the rains, all these problems will be resolved almost completely. All right.
Nana, thank you so much for talking to us. After the show, there's an issue I want you to help us with. This might not be within your jurisdiction, but there's an estate somewhere near Pram. There's an issue, a very disturbing one going there. So they are not connected. Pipes have not been laid to the area. The residents have come together to put resources together to have the GWL connect water to the area for them. However, one of your officers in the area keeps ballooning the price or the sum that it will cost them to connect. They go to him this day, it is one figure. They go marshal the resources, put together, come up with the money. They go by the next day, it has tripled. They are really concerned. I actually have a voice note from them. I'll send it to you after, and hopefully you can look into it for us and help us help these residents address this issue.
No, for you can get me the contact person.
Very well, Nana. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Resolve issues that are not in our region.
Sure.
By not taking a phone, so that's not a problem.
Sure. Thank you so much. I'm sure the people of Western Region miss you already. Nana, thank you. We're grateful to you for talking to us.
I'm grateful. Very
Right. All right.
Bye-bye.
So we have the communications manager for the Accra East region, that is Nana Berima Bania, who is the communications manager there. This is a person issue. Water.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it from Monday till now. It may sound that we are saying the same thing every day, but until we get solution to this problem, we can't stop talking about it. Mentioning the areas that he supervises tells you that there is a big pressure on the Ghana Water Limited. Look at Tudu, to Adabraka, to Cantonment, Osula, Teshi. The population keeps increasing every now and then. So maybe with the onset of the rains, you may want to buy another tank and store water. And also check usage of water, because it's very important. You wouldn't want to
the thing is scarce. Why would you want to waste it?
Waste it. You alone. You are buying like 3 buckets of water because you've seen that we have enough water in the tank
in the shower for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
exactly.
you are in and you are singing.
What are you doing?
And you are singing.
So I'm sure we don't pay attention to
manage
the
water we
wastage
have.
as well. Listen, and then the issue of illegal connections. If you look at the figures and the loss the Ghana Water Limited is making, you would actually cry for them. It's just about 48% of the water that they produce that actually gets to the consumer.
Before the new administration, the managing director of Ghana Water went round to check the illegal connections, and they ensured that the homes they went to, if you are not connected legally, then they disconnect you totally. But I don't know what has become of that particular plan, going from home to, mind you, Ghanaians, if you don't come and monitor and check this thing every now and then, we will go back to the old stage.
You see why I was asking now about their own internal mechanism to detect some of these things.
Yeah, because I think it's very, very important, because just leaving it to the citizens is also stressful. But in as much as they expect us to, come out to them and always reach out to them, I would also commend them for doing a great job. They actually listen. That I'm not going to take it away from them. They actually listen, because like the first time I went, they sent people to follow me straight up and then check it. And when I even called the guy, he just tells me, oh, there's a pipe breaking here. There's even though there are so many problems, they actually listen.
Exactly.
So I wish they can actually find a solution to, knowing that there's a problem here. This is
and you see, for me, I think where we've come as a people, we've come a long way from, as a people to the fact that now we have to depend on rainwater as fine, it is the major source, we can't do anything about it, but there is innovation, there's technology now. You go to Las Vegas, it's a desert area, they don't have water. Everything, every water they use, they consume because there's proper recycling. They're actually paying people to have pave their the fronts of their houses instead of having grass there, so that they don't have to waste water watering the grass. You get it? So if we're able to innovate, put in a proper recycling system, then we can recycle all wastewater and resupply same. You get it? I don't think in this day and age we should still be waiting for the rainy season.
Why should we be spilling water?
That is my concern. When the dam is full, it hits its threshold. I believe there should be a way to rechannel the water instead of just spilling it, wasting it.
Because we need raw water to be processed. Then these waters can get into people's
Farmers
homes.
are crying of drought, but will spill.
Well, we'll spill.
You get it? So in as much as we're looking at the challenges in supplying, we are advising or urging that some level of innovation, some level of thinking should go into re-engineering our water supply system so that we can store excess water, we can recycle wastewater, and supply same back into the system.
But funny, I think the engineers themselves, they know, but they would state finances or money
it will
to be
come
the problem.
at a cost. Philip, there's nothing in this world that is free. It will come at a cost. But you know the biggest cost aside the financial cost is the political will.
Yeah. If there is a political will, it will be done.
If the government wants something done, they will do it.
Like what happened in Volta region where there was a split of the Volta Dam,
the
Akosombo Dam, and later destroyed homes and all. That we've not had a permanent solution to that problem. And we are waiting in the near future when the Akosombo Dam gets beyond its level, we'll have to spill again. Mind you, when the issue happened, a lot of engineers spoke about is that you have to create or you have to get irrigation dams that these waters will be channeled into when the Akosombo Dam is spilled, among other things. But it tells us that, like Nana said, after when the rain sets in, we get enough water, we go and sleep.
The new MD for Ghana Water Limited, Adam Mutawakilu. Good morning. Galus. That's his name. Galus.
But that was his area we discussed not too long ago.
I know the funny thing. He's actually constructed boreholes in that area.
Wow. Let's bring you the Member of Parliament for Ponkatamanso, Joseph Tete. And he is the man we wanted to speak to now because we understand that his area, the residents are also struggling, or constituents are struggling to get water. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you doing?
I trust you are doing well.
Yes.
What is the current situation in your area concerning water supply? The Ponkatamanso constituency.
Ponkatamanso, we have problems across the constituency. It's a widespread problem. When you take my constituency, we have different areas, widely spread. And so we go to area that we call Good Lake around Michelle Camp, they have water issue. We go to Katamansi area, they have water issue. We come to Community 25, Bethlehem, there we also have water issues. We go to Pong, we have long-standing water issues. So it's a widespread problem. It's generally across the country.
And with this problem, when did it start?
Oh, if you take for example, it has been there for some time. I mean, yes. But other areas, the problem started, I would say, beginning of the year. We have shortage of water supply to some areas, but I think the problem has been aggravated mostly this year. Yes.
Wow. And I'm sure, as the Member of Parliament, you've engaged the authorities in the area or the Ghana Water Limited that supervises your constituency. What have they been telling you? Maybe there is a peculiar issue that constituency is facing.
Yes, the main problem has to do with the pipeline. You know, my area is a developing area. So day in, day out, people coming into the conference. So, for example, if you take an area called Apollonia, there was a pipeline from Akenya Junction to Apollonia. At that time, we didn't have development along that stretch. But now that people have come in, so the pipe, about 4 inches pipe that was serving the people of Apollonia, but because of the development, people are now passing into that same pipeline. So the water doesn't reach Apollonia anymore. So most of the area has to do with the pipelines. So we are advocating for most of the lines to be changed to bigger ones. I mean, the pipelines to be changed to bigger ones. So that's what will also solve this problem. If you take an area like Community 25, they also have the same problem. As I put to you, there is 6 inches pipeline that serves Bethlehem areas to Community 25. A new pipeline, 6 inches, has also been laid, but it has stopped at Bethlehem. It hasn't got into Community 25. So that's what's also making water problem rampant at Community 25. If you take home, they also need new investment. I mean, the new investment so that the water can come to the main township. So we are discussing some of these things. And also, we have issue with the main thing has to do with pressure. And I think the pumping of water to some areas is being controlled, is being regulated. So some people will get at this time, another time to another two. And these are some of the big problems that we are facing.
Honorable, most of these areas you mentioned are, for want of a better word, new areas or developing areas. So could it be a problem with planning? Because if these are new areas, are they serviced areas? Do we have the pipes already constructed to be able to supply water to these areas? Is it an issue of planning that is resulting in these challenges?
Yes, that is it. And so we have to identify the source of the problem and tackle it once and for all. So that is what the discussion I'm having with the authority. We need new ways of planning. So the constraints our population is about 417,000 and keep increasing. The whole Ghana, no constantly has population like Umtakamanso, 417,000. And so the increase in population has been massive to basic amenities. And this is what is putting pressure on the few ones that we have. So we need a holistic approach to this problem.
Very well. So, I mean, it's a new administration now. We know that some of these projects will be cost intensive. I mean, you are part of this new administration. I am sure you're also friends with the Honorable Mutawakilu, who is now MD for Ghana Water. He has served as Damongo MP before. What is the level of engagement at that level with the Honorable Mutawakilu and, of course, the Ghana Water Limited?
Okay, so before I book appointment to meet him, but before then, I have to know the problems on the ground. And that's what I've done for the few weeks that I'm able to talk to you about some of the issues. So that now that I've come myself with all this information, then when I meet the minister, I know exactly what to tell him. So I'll book appointments, and I'm sure by next week, I'll meet him so that we see how best we can solve this.
Honorable, is there a check from the assembly, that is the Ponkatamanso Municipal Assembly, that individuals who are putting up structures in the area should be monitored so that you would have a better service, or say water into their homes before these structures are built? Because sometimes you have a new site and all the necessary measures weren't taken before people moved to the area, and they will now start putting pressure on the Ghana Water Limited. What is the talks at the municipality level to ensure that such a thing is done before people build in your area?
Okay. So I think that's something that we all have to take account of. Now people build even without acquiring the permits and all that, and it's also creating some of these problems. As soon as people buy land from maybe the locals, they start putting up building without even proper plan. So it's something that we look at when especially the assembly is well constituted, something that are planting to the authorities that we see the way forward.
Honorable, having taken cognizance of the challenges in the area, are you able to prefer some possible solutions, especially now that you have an appointment with the MD of the Ghana Water Limited?
I can't hear you. Please repeat your question.
I'm asking that, having taken cognizance of the challenges in your area with regards to water supply, are you able to suggest some possible solutions in addressing it, especially now that you have booked an appointment with the MD of the Ghana Water Limited?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That the problem has to do more with the construction or installation of new pipelines that are bigger. We need to replace some of the pipelines and also, if possible, bring additional one along the ones that we have. With this, when we have bigger pipelines, water flow will also be easier to the area. As I said, some of the pipes that we have were supposed to be a smaller group of people. But because people are built along the line, they tap the water before it even gets to the final destination. So the main problem has to do with pipeline. And we need to invest in some of these activities so that my people can get water.
Very well. The water truck business must be booming in your area.
Yes. Come again?
The water truck business, those tankers that carry water, is the business booming in your area?
Yes, it is. Even just last week, I have to get some of the tankers to supply water to the people of Pong. And something I've decided to do on a weekly basis, not only Pong, I've asked other communities to identify areas that we have polycans and cool, so that I can also actually supply them some of the water for that temporary measure. So yes, it is true. The tankers are really cutting in on some of these things, and I'm sure making the water supply water to the various homes very expensive. So it's something that is well.
Are you looking to engage these truck drivers on the prices or the charges?
I haven't done that yet, but it's something I can consider.
Very well. Very well. Honorable, thank you so much for talking to us. We wish you well.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Grateful, grateful.
I'm just, more concerned about what he said at the end. Please engage the truck drivers.
Yeah.
Like, for someone
It's
like me,
you, huh?
yes.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think his area is far from mine. Yeah, I live in East Legon Hills, and sometimes the map says it's Bon Katama, so sometimes it says Adenta, whatever. I'm just in the middle of that. And now, if he's going to engage the truck drivers, please do. I beg you. Because it costs $150 to fill a tank. And the tank is not even enough sometimes.
Wow, 150.
Yes.
I think you're not paying that much.
How big is your tank?
It's big.
It's big?
Yes.
Ever since I moved to where I am, I've
150 Ghana cedis?
People are paying 600.
Yes, people are paying more.
800.
Are you serious?
People are paying more.
Nah.
Recently, some
maybe your tank isn't big.
Yeah, probably my tank isn't big.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe what I'm calling big is not big.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
maybe it's not big.
Yeah, maybe what I'm calling big is not big. Because I have to do that for the months, probably 3 to 4 times. Yeah.
Oh,
Recently, I was ripped up. I think the guy noticed my desperation and created a whole story about how far he has to travel to get the water.
Oh, you also have to buy water?
Yeah, there was a period where there was no water at all. There was no water at home. And I was forced to buy. He noticed the desperation in my voice.
Right.
Gave me some funny cock and bull story about having to travel a long distance to get the water.
No,
it took 1,150.
No, but it's not cock and bull. They actually
water.
They actually have to travel sometimes
They do.
because
But
there's no water for
but
there's no water for them sometimes. So they
have to travel long distances.
Yeah, they actually do that to me sometimes. They'll tell me, you know what, today there's no water where we get it. That they have to go all the way probably to somewhere in Medina. Usually they get it somewhere in the area, but they'll go all the way to Medina, or they're going inside Adenta or something. So when they go far, the money is going up.
I feel sometimes they just take advantage of us. But anyways, we'll see. Grateful that you stayed on with us. We're discussing the issue of water and its associated challenges. We'd like to hear from you which area you are, what is your own situation, how long have the taps not been flowing, and if they do, at what times have you reported same? What have you heard from the authorities? Let us know what your experience is. Okay, the number is on your screens. They call us and let us hear from you. But you see, in as much as we are calling on duty bearers to sort or to fix this problem, there's a responsibility on us as consumers. The illegal connections, they are affecting the revenue stream of the Ghana Water Limited. And so they do not have enough money to maintain their facility or their equipment, their plants. They do not have enough money to procure the necessary materials to clean the water for you and I to consume, and even to pay their staff and all that. So stop the illegal connections, okay? Now, when that is done, pay your water bill.
Some people will keep the water bill for a very long time and they wouldn't pay. And
I keep saying that if Ghana,
but why don't you do water
prepaid like the ECG has done, we'll die in this country.
But maybe Ghana Water should consider doing prepaid. Maybe.
Perhaps
can
for
it work?
their own sake.
No, but can it work?
Oh,
it can.
I mean, you buy credit, right? If you don't buy it, you don't have water.
Right. Anyway, we have a call on the line. William from Tema is joining us on Breakfast Daily this morning. Hi, William.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you very much. This is the first time calling to your program.
Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. All right, so tell us, what's the water situation in your area like?
Yeah, it comes and it goes. Sometimes it will flow for a certain period and then...
Well, I'm sorry, which area is this?
Around Community 2 areas.
Community 2, Tema.
Sometimes it comes and then goes away. But my problem, the reason why I call this program is because I traveled to Accra, and then I saw the way the fresh water is flowing into the sea. So is there no way this water can be stored somewhere so that it can be supplied to the communities needed? Because I keep thinking about these things every day. We have people going to school, they pay scholarship to go and learn. So that when you come out, you add something to what is there already. Sometimes I don't know what is going through. Because you travel to other countries, even in somewhere like Cairo. Some time ago, I saw something, I was shocked. On the desert, and people are growing something like banana and other things. So I don't know. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
All right, thank you so much. Now,
so it's also addressing the same issue you were talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
With the developed countries, there are technology, there are ways.
there are mechanisms to do these things.
Harvest.
Philip, do you know what our pipes were like before? They were concrete pipes.
Okay.
Water was flowing through concrete pipes from back then. We found wisdom and innovated to the plastic, the PVCs.
The PVCs.
We're using PVCs now to supply water. We should be able to innovate enough to store water, to recycle water, to harvest water, and not wait for rain. And like William is saying, water is flowing into the sea.
To the sea, yeah.
But water is not flowing into your home.
And it has to be harvested.
We need to innovate enough to harvest. There's technology available. It's not like it's not there. It is there.
Previously, I think I came to Tema some time back, and you can drink water through the taps. Yeah. Tema water was very nice. Is it same?
Yeah, to a large extent. You can drink from the taps in Tema.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so Abukari from Kpon is joining us. Hi, Abukari.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
I'm calling from Newland, Katamansu.
Right.
Please, we last 2 months, up to last month, we couldn't get even one day. They didn't give us water. Yes, but we realized that there are some people at the downtown junction. They were tapping the water. They tapped the water from the downtown, the main road leading to Katamansu. They tapped the water there, and then the tankers have been coming there to fetch water, and then the water could not reach us.
Right.
Yes.
Have you reported this to the Ghana Water Limited?
Downtown.
But is the Ghana Water Limited aware of this?
I don't know. tankers have been coming there to, when they pump the water even weekly, it will not reach Katamanso and Newland. It will be within Atadika, and then downtown. It will be like, so sometimes they pump it weekly. So when they pump the water to us weekly, it will not reach Katamanso and Atadika.
So for how long has this been happening?
About two months, we couldn't get water, but they were fetching water there.
Do you know who takes this water? Is it the Ghana water or is an individual just being?
No, individual.
Exactly. So it's
you have to check there. Yes, downtown up to Newland Junction. That place. Yes, tankers have been fetching water from there.
Oh, the tankers.
And do you know the source of this water? Is it groundwater? Is it Ghana water?
When they pump the water, you will see that Atadika will be having water. But coming to the Katamanso side, you will not have water.
Right.
So we suffered for about 2 weeks, 2 months. So this month, when my water bill came, it was 0.
Oh.
Nothing.
Right.
Maybe you should have a conversation with the Ghana Water Limited. I'm sure they may be watching, so that they will get to your area and rectify the situation immediately. Because
when we consulted, I called them and they said they have been pumping it weekly, but the weekly it will not reach our place.
Right.
It will be blocked at that place, and then Atadika will be having water.
Well, very well. Thank you. Perhaps it could be the topography of the area.
Of course, maybe the pressure.
And then the pressure.
Yeah,
So maybe it's unable to
I
climb,
actually understand him.
go up.
Yeah.
So maybe Ghana Water needs to re-engineer
I actually understand him
the supply
because that's
system.
the problem I have sometimes. So the time, it hasn't, like I told you, since last year, I haven't seen water. When you call, when you call, they just tell you that, oh, the pressure is not getting to your place. It's the pressure. So people down the hill have water. And when you go up, we don't have water.
Maybe it can't climb up.
Yeah,
so.
sometimes it's the pipe, sometimes it's the pressure, so many things.
The pressure is not enough. Okay, let's speak to Abraham. Abraham is calling from Old Ningo. Good morning, Abraham.
Good morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Great. What's your own experience with water?
Well, happy Easter for you.
Thank you. Happy Easter to you too.
I would like to make this passionate appeal to you. You may take offense or not. I'm somebody who is logical in my talk.
Very well.
When you sit on the TV and you talk, you don't follow up. That makes the system very, very rather poor. Because those who are connected with these issues are suffering. You only sit on the TV and you talk. When we speak to you, you don't send your men. As sometimes I see USA, Umaru Sanda, going to some places to talk or to find out what is going on at the place. It's very appalling. Now, I am criticizing you first before I bring my problem.
Go ahead, and then when you're done, we'll respond to it.
Okay, now listen. Oningo has a perennial water problem. Before I came here, I'm a policeman who has just retired. We buy the white drum, the acid drum. That white one, 150 cedis per drum. And if you don't get it, you have to buy the 4 gallon for 5 cedis or 3 cedis. And in fact, even if you have 4 in a house and you don't have water, imagine the amount of water you buy in a month. And what happens is that the drivers have the audacity and they are happy to buy pickups and these Kia trucks, put 3 tanks, 4 tanks into them, and go to the Wenya, Pram and other places to fetch the water to come and sell to us in all the areas in Oningo and its environment. Why am I saying this? I don't know whether they have collaborated or coordinated or whatever they are doing with the water company in Pram.
For a retired policeman, I'm sure you know better not to make such allegations on air.
When you say so, in fact, you should know that we all have our limits.
Yes, but I mean, to publicly make such an allegation, you cannot prove.
No. We don't do that.
So please let's not do that.
About it, then you will not have the water. Even the police station, we have to chase cars before they bring water to the police station, and we pay. Luckily, unfortunately, I'm retired and I'm staying in Ningo. And what I'm saying, I'm suggesting that you send somebody down to the place to see for yourself what is happening. So when you bring it to the fore, people will see exactly what is happening. This is what I'm talking about.
Thank you. The same thing you're critiquing. I mean, we appreciate your criticism. Thank you so much for your observation and your criticism. But same thing you're critiquing, the same thing you're asking us to come there to do. You're criticizing us for reporting or speaking on the matter and not following up. But I'm sure if you've stayed long enough with us here at ChannelOne TV and 97.3 City FM, you would have noticed that all along we follow up on these issues. We bring the authorities to speak to the issue. I don't know on your own as an individual what you have done to help address the issue. But yes, we take the criticism in good faith. Thank you so much.
Hold on, please. I'm happy with your suggestion. But before somebody starts talking to you people, that person has gone through some kind of system.
Okay, so
that we are beginning to be, we are fed up.
Okay.
And we those of us who are residing there as strangers, because what we see is what we talk. We have gone far, but sometimes it's like when you go far, you talk. There are a big eyes, not opinion leaders, but there are people who also are happy when we tell you, we the strangers talk to you people about what is happening in the system. That is why I'm telling you this. We have gone deep into somewhere to talk, but it is not holding.
Very well. Very well.
So that's what I'm suggesting, that if your men are on the ground, let one of them come around to see exactly what that's why when you are reporting, I'm seeing the jerrycans and somebody is reporting from Atadika or wherever. Then we are happy they want to see it.
Very well. Thank you.
The honorable MP can see it and see what is happening. Then you also understand what is going on. So,
thank you so much. I'm not sure when you joined the program, but if you had started with us, you would have noticed that we reported from affected communities. Our reporter was on the grounds to bring the issue to bear. You would have also noticed that we've spoken to the PRO of the Ghana Water Company. We've subsequently spoken to the Member of Parliament for Katamanso.
So, please, my brother, I'm happy I'm watching you talk.
Abraham, maybe share your contact with our producers. You will find a way and visit your area and see what we can do for you. Because the issue with the Ningo Pram Pram water issue, it's also another person one. Maybe we'll have to go to the area and
I mean, the challenges
get the Member of Parliament for the area, Honorable Samuel Nate George, to maybe talk about it and what the authorities are doing about it. Mind you, the MMDCs, they are yet to be in these areas so that they can start working. So maybe he's making a point there that he hasn't seen our reporters yet there. Maybe very soon he will, and so he should be ready to direct us to the places
I can understand
that we can have a conversation.
Philip, it can be very frustrating that you don't have water, you see water going to other places, you have to cough out money, and now he's retired. You understand? It's a drain on his finances, so I can understand.
So he's talking out of frustration.
Exactly. But what my concern is that you don't take your frustration out on anyone at all.
Exactly.
You get, that's what I was asking. If he had started the show with us, he would have noticed the sequence that we built. We were on the grounds to report the situation.
The frustration has gotten to a limit where it can no more be filtered. So he has to pour it out.
Which is fine. But like we're saying, so we'll make his contact after. We'll have a reporter go to the area, possibly as at when there's availability to do so, an opportunity presents itself to do so.
And he should be ready to guide us when
the challenges might be different. I mean, there could be an area where it's genuine scarcity. There could be an area where it's a pressure problem. There could be an area where they need to re-engineer the entire water system.
And there's an area where people are doing illegal.
Exactly.
Anyway, we have Alaji
is also joining us. Alaji, you are calling from where?
I'm calling you from English Yaman
English Yaman How is the water situation there like?
Okay,
south.
In fact, if we have to talk about water, I can confidently tell you that at Amam area, English Amam area, for almost a year or more than that, we don't get water flow. Always you see an area will come small. We don't know. Previously we used not to have such issues. You understand? But we don't know for the past 1 year or something. I don't know whether the machines are old or something. We don't know.
But have you reported?
Right? We have reported Ghana Water Company. They will come our area. They will send their boys. They will come. They will check. They say the pressure is too low. Every day the pressure is low. You understand? And it's becoming unbecoming. I've called some of the managers, many of them. I've called them. Then the next day they will say, oh, they are sending somebody to come. The person will come. He will just, some kind of, apart from even water not flowing, the engineers who will come and say, you don't see any professionalism. Somebody comes to check water, pipe that is not flowing without proof. How do you check? You understand? And then when they are burying their pipes, they don't dig. They just put it on the surface. You understand? So we need professionalism in Ghana Water. If you don't do proper work or no professionalism in your work, how is your company going to make money?
And do you pay bills? Do you get bills?
My brother, they bringing bills. What am I going to pay? Because anytime the bill comes, they pay money. Water is not flowing. You bring me bill.
Like how much?
Oh, I can tell you what they brought. They've been bringing for the past 2 years, every day 300 Ghana.
Wow.
You understand? The bills have been coming 300 Ghana, 300 Ghana. Then I come to check that, my brother, what you are bringing, you yourself, tell me, do you see water flowing around the area? You understand? Myself, I put myself in their shoes because I also work with a service provider. You understand? If your water doesn't flow, how are you going to make money and make that company the best?
Right.
My brother, things are not well with Ghana Water. I don't know whether the company exists.
So you're not getting water in the area for like a year. How do you survive? How do you get water?
Recently they did some work at the main junction, and they said now the work that they did at the Amamfrom junction will get us some flow. Up to now, we buy water. Sometimes you buy water from a car comes. My brother, you look at the water, you can't use it. Sure. So normally, I warn my wife, my children, if you wanted to use water, go and buy sachet water for cooking. You understand? You think about all these things, you don't understand. Then you come out to tell us that you are increasing water bill. Give us the water and charge us, we'll pay. Right. People are willing to pay. Like this kind of thing, it happened to ECG that they came to change the meters. Will you say you won't buy a light? You won't buy it. You understand? But I'm telling you, Ghana Water, I don't know whether the company exists. I don't know. So please, I'm happy that bring past them you got this topic up. Please, I don't know who we should talk to. Me, I passed by, I got many of their top guys. You call them, they tell you sorry, we'll let somebody come. Things are not working well.
Alaji, point well noted. We just hope and pray that the authorities are listening and they'll do what is needful for English Amamfrom area, and you get the water that the interesting part is that you are not getting the water. You are billed. You are paying like 300 Ghana cedis a month. Yeah.
And the tariffs have gone higher.
Yes, so 4.02%.
But that's effective May 3.
Effective May 3, and some few days from now. Yeah. And you are not getting water through your taps. And Nana, you said that they should the illegal connection. How?
No, I mean, that's for that, it's wrong. There's no excuse for that.
But you know, this is I have a confession to make. This is the first time I'm hearing that there's illegal connection when it comes to water.
Oh yes.
Oh really?
There's so much.
The connector doesn't go through the meter.
Yes, so
it will go through another subscriber. So
they're able to
bypass the
metering system. Yeah.
Bypass the meter,
which is so wrong. Which is so wrong. That one's called
Abroni
Bay is simple.
Eric Fonko is also joining us. Eric.
Hello.
Your member of parliament just spoke to us a few minutes ago. What is the water situation in the area like?
Yes, thank you very much. I listened to him, and he addressed some few issues. But I heard him saying they need to look at some of the pipelines that they need to put a bigger pipelines. I agree perfectly. But the issue here is that for the past 6 months, New Bridge, my house specifically, or my area specifically, don't even have water for the past 6 months. And, you know, the funny aspect is that I've been asking, the Ghana Water Company, do they even have leaders? Do they have managers in that company? Because I strongly believe that every institution have managers. They have people who are to see to the running of the institution. So if for the past 6 months we don't have water at our area, how would they get money to really pay their staff? Here is the case. He's saying that there are smaller pipes. I don't have a problem about that. Even the smaller pipes, we don't even have water running through them. Even the smaller pipes, if we even have water running through them, there wouldn't be even an issue at the areas. They need to look at it and address the issue holistically. The water issue in Katama, so specifically New Bridge, very, very, for the past 6 months, no water. Mm-hmm. No water.
How have you been surviving?
We have to, you know, like everyone is saying, this water, these tankers have to go around selling water. And even that one, you have to call them several times before they will come around. Sure. And it's very, very bad. A gallon of water here is about 5 Ghana cedis to even 6 Ghana cedis. How can people afford that? Meanwhile, Ghana Water is a full institution. No wonder some of the institutions of the country are running into losses. Meanwhile, we have managers and leaders who are supposed to see to the day-to-day running of the institution to make sure that they make profit for the country. But yet, they run, and we still have people there every month, they still pay them. If the people are ineffective or they are not efficient enough, I think the best thing to, like the way our president have said, all those institutions are not making headway in the, for the country. Either they privatize them or they start everybody from that institution. And I think that would rather be the best way, because people are there and they are not working. How can a manager be there and manager be in the office and people are not getting water and they are not doing anything for the past 6 months?
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for talking to us. I mean, you can share.
I can share his.
Yeah.
Very soon we should get Adam Mutawakil on to tell us the challenges here.
Yeah. Anyway,
he has met when he went to the office.
Yeah, so we have Madam Olivia on the line right now. Hi, Madam Olivia. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Madam Olivia. You're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Yes.
Where are you calling from, and what's the water situation like?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Turn down the volume on your TV set and listen to us through the phone.
I have a problem as well.
Yes, turn down the volume on your TV set. We're getting too much feedback.
Okay. I have a problem as well.
Okay.
Where I am is around the depth of the and it looks like every 3 weeks is when we get water. Every 3 weeks. And you realize that sometimes you call the drivers, they will not come. And I think they have a connection with these Ghana Water guys around, because sometimes the water is flowing somewhere. You realize water is flowing, but you will not get water for sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes 1 month. So at least I heard what you were discussing. That they have to send the men down to check all these things, because there is a connection between the guys who come down and those who sell the water. So please, if those things could be checked for us, as citizens, it goes along with numbers. That some people are enjoying water, you will not get water for 3 weeks before you get water.
Right.
Okay. Point well made. We just Def Charcoal, right?
Yes, Def Charcoal.
So we just pray that the authorities are also listening and watching, because it's very important. But Nana, like you stated, some of the problem is also from us as humans, and we should also check the consumption, what we are using the water for, because if you are to use too much water in your kitchen, too much water in the washroom, too much water in the bathroom, too much water outside, even to water your lawns, among other things, it tells you that the water will not even last for that period you want it to last.
Even how much you're using to brush your teeth.
Yes. I know someone who can use 2 sachets to brush her teeth. And it tells
Listen,
because you've seen it. It's a lot. But you've forgotten that it will finish.
Water. Yes. If you have to do the utensils, fetch 2 bowls of water, one to wash, one to rinse, instead of keeping the tap running.
We don't do that. Washing.
Why are you in the shower? You're scrubbing your body, and the shower is flowing.
It's still flowing, and you're singing and dancing.
And that water, what is it washing? The towels?
Maybe it's washing the
your sins
the
away. Christ died for your sins. Water won't wash your sins away.
Anyway, guys, we have some messages right here. And good morning, Channel One. And Emmanuel from Kaswa. My area at Kaswa CP, there has been no water since last year, April. That's a year now.
Wow.
When you ask, they say it's because of the road construction. Yet every month they would prepare a bill and send to you, but they are not ready to solve the problem. And Sadiq from Kaswa again.
Sorry, but I have a problem. What are they billing you for?
That's the thing.
Because to bill me, you have to come and read my meter.
Per the conversation we had with
yesterday,
the Ghana Water Limited yesterday, the PRO for the Ashanti region, he says that the bills come as a result of the water you've used in the past.
How?
So, for instance, if you use water, or even if water flows through your pipes just an hour and fills up your tank, that is also
the water.
I get it, but we are getting calls from or messages from people who say water hasn't flowed in their taps for over a year. Last year, April, and they are getting bills. So what are they being billed for?
Let's move to the Amasaman side, Asapeman to be specific. Anand is joining us from Sapeman. Anand, good morning.
Good morning. God bless you.
What is the situation?
This morning, about the water issue, I mean, I sometimes don't understand. My hometown, particularly Mankesim to be precise, and you know, our water destiners at Besukrum, so we usually call them Besukrum water pump, blah, blah, blah. You remember recently Professor Jampo was also, because we all use the same water head from the same area. So Salt Pond and its surrounding area, we don't have water. And you know, this yellow gallon that you are showing right now is 7 cedis per one.
Wow.
As I'm speaking. Yes. Yesterday, I hear cry. You know, I'm in Accra here. So I decided to go there and do something, blah, blah, blah. So when I went there, my mom said, we have big reservoir in our house that people used to come and fetch water from our end. And we even have short, so who will get the water? So there is a place that they say they have some. So we decided to go there with a car and then buy. So we took this gallon 4. And the woman said, one is 7 Ghana. I said, hey, here. And you know what? To even live in that central region particular, before you end up a day, you end up 10 cedis. That's why it's not easy. So for you to buy a water at this yellow gallon for 7 cedis, meaning you will not eat for the day. So I was thinking, before a country was facing that problem where Mankesim area was cool, but now Fantama rather is facing where a country, remember 2009, 2012, at Aman's time, he went and did some water, this thing for them at social, between social to Apam, yes. So they are now a little bit okay. But when you go to Mankesim, because that Besukrum water pump, for years, that's where I live. I have land around that area. They call that Samaria. And the water, so sometimes I would ask myself, so the water works, are they working or because You will not come and see any renovation. You will not come and see any upgrading. That line is still there. So I was not worried as we are facing this problem. So we bet the waterways people. They sometimes, the machine, that's the equipment that they are using to provide that. So they should, as they are collecting the money, they should invest in it. We bet them. Brother, thank you.
And I thank you so much for your time. Anand calling from Sapperman, and he has stated that what the Ghana Water Limited is taking by way of bills, they should ensure that their equipment is updated. If not, we are still going to have issues like this. Mind you, they've done something at Peve in recent times in the Volta region. The Ghana Water Limited went there to get some of their equipment renewed and also the plant to work in. And we know that even with that, there's still water challenge. Like the PRO stated, the Accra East PRO, the raw water is not there. And maybe he will say that Wager is where we are getting our water from. But I'm sure that Wager should also be having water from other regions. Or
Wager's main source is the Densu.
The Densu.
Which flows from the eastern region.
Exactly. Also. And if Galamsey affects there, it's still going to affect the Wager Dam. Yesterday I saw a story from the Member of Parliament for Ebuakwa South, Dr. Kingsley Ajiman, stating that even a place like Esiakwa, right now they do not have water because of illegal mining. And now they have to rely on pure water for existence. And it tells you that, like we've been saying every now and then, the illegal mining situation should stop. Exactly. Because if you are mining illegally and we do not have fixed plan for this issue, in the near future, we will be buying water.
True. Let's go to Cape Coast. Carl is calling us from Cape Coast. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
My favorite station, City TV.
ChannelOne TV. Thank you. ChannelOne TV.
In fact, I am very grateful that in a holiday like this, you people have taken priority in issues concerning ordinary Ghanaians. Unlike other stations, by now they would have been doing some funny shows, entertainment, but you people have chosen to go within the hearts of Ghanaians, and they are pouring out their frustrations out. You know, I'll give you an example. When I was in Accra, it's not just about water. You know, I was having 4 air conditions in my apartment. So when I relocated to that, I realized that the bill was less. The bill that they were billing me, it was postpaid. So I went to them, ECG, informed them that, look, I suspect the bill you are giving to me is not, maybe you have a problem with your meter. I am rather trying to generate revenue. You get my point?
Yeah.
But trust me, they never show up. So I also take it like, well, if I want to do the right thing and they will not come, then I'll let it be.
Right.
You get the point? It's not just like, it's an institutional problem. That is why I don't believe in World Health Organization. You believe that there was COVID in these areas when they can't even get water to even flush their toilet. And COVID has to do with what? Sanity. Do you believe that there was COVID in Ghana? No wonder they said Africa would have been the worst affected, but thank God we were out. Look at our institutions. Ghana Health Service are the private, how do you call it? Private clinics. Are they not making better impact than the Ghana Health Service? Go to education. So why are we having a problem with water? Private people should come in. Then we will live. We will take the Ghana out and join the private. So everything will be private. After all, my kids don't go to Ghana hospitals. They go to clinics, private clinics. They go to private schools. So the same thing will happen to Ghana Water and ECG if private people should come in. Because we are sick and tired. Even if people have to report about problems that benefit the state, they don't even take action. How much more will they take action on things
that are directly affecting them.
Sure.
This is the country we have ourselves in. So I am saying that Ghanaians should come together. We want private sector to come and take over the water system. How can people be living in areas 1 week they don't even have water?
Thank you.
Water is life.
Thank you. Point well.
So he's asking that the Ghana Water Limited be privatized.
Yeah.
Mind you, the privatization of the ECG has met some opposition. And,
well, the president has suggested it. The His Energy and Green Transition Minister has suggested it. We were under an MCC, a Millennium Challenge Compact, that brought about the PDS. We also what happened with PDS, that. We are looking at how the conversation is going to go regarding privatization of the ECG. But I am all for private sector participation.
Yes.
Listen, we have this mentality where a bindia and media is for the government, so we don't care. But if it's your private business,
you would run it well. But then again, we also say that when the private business comes, it's going to increase the bill. Well, let's go to another caller. We understand.
Competition.
Yes.
And competition
is good. Very good, actually.
Wilson is on the line. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Paloma.
Where?
Paloma.
From Dawenya.
Dawenya.
What is the situation there like?
I'm grateful for the contribution. The problem of this water shortages is massive urbanization. You see, formally, the same pipeline, we are using the same pipeline. So the Ghana water has to be so that they should do more expansive. Then this problem will be solved. Other than that, the confining of these shortages of water every day every time.
Okay, so you are calling for the pipelines to be changed, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's Wilson there telling us his issue with the pipelines. Thank you so much, sir. And we'll put that message across. So, like we were stating, the privatization of Ghana Water Limited will come up with the competition, maybe good service. Maybe that we cannot really.
I think it's all about the service than the competition for anyone that really wants it at this moment. Because from what the last caller said, he's more about the efficiency of doing the job right and giving us the service so we can pay for it, no matter how much it costs. Just give us a good service. Like he talked about the schools, he talked about the hospitals, and so much more. So I think it's all about the service that you are going to be gaining from them. That's his problem. And honestly, really, we want the service. We want great service, because he said, like, when people, you put certain people in places and they're not doing the job, and they're not doing. If they're not doing the job, it's going to have a ripple effect, and they're getting paid. And when you go out to report to them, they are, just
this lackluster attitude,
about everything.
I mean, I any day I'm for privatization or private sector participation. But not just the privatization of the company, but opening the space for other private sector players to enter. This is my thinking, right? If you're going to privatize Ghana Water Company, that's fine. But that's only one leg of it. Allow other water distribution companies to also come into the distribution space. And then there's competition between a private sector company and a government institution.
Maybe Ghana Water want to enjoy monopoly.
And then we'll see. Let's say, like the Accra East region. Ghana Water is supplying water. Accra West region, a private company is supplying water. And we'll see, when the consumers start moving from the Ghana Water to the private sector, you will set up
like how we got it from in the telcos.
Exactly.
We had
MTN, AT, Telecel.
It was only Ghana Telecom.
I mean, it is cost intensive.
Exactly.
It will cost an arm and a leg to enter that space. But if we're able to do it, allow other private sector companies to fully participate in the distribution end of our utilities, electricity, water, you'll see the difference it will make in this country.
And you think that the private companies would be able to generate enough, say like distribute enough water to the residents who are complaining as compared to what is happening?
He's a business
He has to make
person.
money.
He's a profit-oriented person. He's thinking about his profit at the end of the day. He will provide the service to collect his money.
At any cost.
He will provide the service.
And it looks like
to
Ghanaians are willing
money.
to pay any cost. Once we are getting the service, we are willing to pay.
Yes. But I'm saying that, I mean, for me, the biggest solution to this is innovation.
Yeah.
We cannot, in this day and age, sit and wait for rainwater as our major source. Let's innovate, harvest water, store water, recycle water, and send the same water back to the consumer.
Rightly so.
So innovation and our behavior too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And climate change. Climate change.
Yeah.
And Galamsey. Charlie, the matters there are plenty.
Plenty. Anyway, we've had a great conversation. I
Yes,
want to thank
indeed.
everyone for joining the conversation by calling. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we have more for you.
And all right, we are grateful that you stayed with us here on Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne TV. We are still talking about water issues within communities in the country. Some messages we have on our text line. The problem is not the availability of water. There are a number of standpipes with tanks where tankers fill up and sell to the people. My question is, who are the owners of those standpipes? Could it be workers of Ghana Water Limited or just ordinary people? Maybe
That's a serious question,
allegation.
you know.
Yes.
We have one from Sadiq from
Okay.
Kaswa Millennium City Estate. For over 4 years, we have never had water flowing through our pipes. Surprisingly, during the rainy season, when we are able to fill our tanks with rainwater, then you have occasional water flowing
from Ghana Water.
Meanwhile, Ghana Water Company has an office close here, but they simply don't care. So for many years, we have been complaining, but nothing is
been
done.
My name is Bentum from Adenta. That is Bentum from Adenta said, I live in Adenta in the flat specifically. There is this thing that Ghana does to us, and I don't get it. They take the water and bring it at dawn, and when we are all asleep, how in God's name do you expect us to be awake to fetch the water which flows at that time? Maybe you would have to get some alarm and wake up at that time and fetch the water, because once the water is gone, it's gone. I don't know. Maybe the Ghana Water Limited also checks that period. A lot of people are not fetching. There isn't much pressure, so they'll open during that time. People get the water and they close it. So those are the messages coming from you on the water situation. Good morning, host of Breakfast Daily. I'm happy with the topic you are discussing. My worry is that when some are suffering to pay their bills, others are enjoying free. Example, when you go to Timber Market, hundreds of water pipes cross over the lagoon to Agboboloshi, that is Sodom and Gomorrah area. They are all using illegal, and Ghana Water Limited, politicians, ECG, all those people know it very well. But are you sure they know it very well? Well, we can't really ascertain that fact here on Breakfast Daily. But that has been the water conversation here on Breakfast Daily. We've taken you to parts of the country from Monday till today. Today we focused in the Greater Accra region, where we spoke to the Member of Parliament for Katamanso. Also, the Ghana Water Limited PRO, Accra East, Nana Berima, also had a conversation with us. We opened the phone lines for you to share your frustration with us.